If family life is feeling like a battle between you and your kids, something's wrong. But good news is you have the power to make the changes now. Hi, everyone. BJ here. And I've heard way too many times parents describe family life as a battle of the wills between the kids and the adults, and that's just the way it is. That's not just the way it is. And we need to redefine our terms here in family life, because if we're going to see heart change and work together as a family, we can't enter into family life with this wrong belief. Today, I want to show you how that belief works out in family life, what to replace it with, and how you can get started of changing the dynamics that are so negative right now in family life into much more positive momentum, so you start moving more towards the family life that you desire. There's a belief out there that says when children are babies, infants even, and they start crying, it's to try and manipulate you, and it's sinful and wrong, and you need to get that kid in line. And I'm sorry, that's just not true at all. That child is trying to communicate with a mom or a dad to say, I'm wet, I'm hungry, I feel uncomfortable, I'm lonely, I have a need. That child's crying out with needs that we need to come along and support. We as adults can look and say there's nothing to worry about. Of course, I'll change them if they need to be changed. They're going to be fed in a few minutes, but that baby doesn't understand that. Just like you and I cry out to God in all kinds of situations where we're panicked, we're worried, we're unsure, we're sad, we're feeling unsafe or uncomfortable, and God's looking down going, I got this, dude. No problem. But thankfully, God doesn't look at our cries out to him as us trying to manipulate him. He looks at them as us expressing our needs, even though he's meeting them. That's how we need to look at our children when they're little babies, too. They're crying out like we cry out for their needs to be met. We need to come alongside of them and meet those needs. But this idea that this is a battle between us and the kids when they're teenagers and stuff like that starts all the way back there with underlying assumptions that need to change in family life. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying children never lie to their parents. They never try to manipulate situations. They never try to do these kind of things that are sinful in family life. That's not what I'm saying at all. So don't put anything in the comments about that. Children do sometimes do those things, but when they're doing those things, we don't want to just discipline behavior right there. If we discipline behavior, we're missing the point. That behavior is communication that's coming from the heart. Okay, your child lied to you. Why did they lie to you? We'll address the lying, yes, but what's behind the lying? What need is there? What's going on in the heart? What underlying assumptions about life do they have? My kid is trying to manipulate a situation to get more time, to stay up later. Okay, what's going on in there? What's lying deeper in the heart? We'll address the way they're going about it, absolutely. But if we just address the way they're going about it and make this a battle, we're not going to get to the heart that we need to get to if we're going to see heart change. And so many times when children explode with some emotional outburst, us parents tend to explode right back. Or we throw threats out there of all the consequences that are going to come their way. If you do that, here's what's going to happen. And we find that's not working. I have yet to meet a child who, when you throw a threat out there as a parent of, oh yeah, you do that, and here's what's going to happen, turns around and goes, oh gosh, I am so sorry, mother. I'm so sorry, father. Clearly, I am in the wrong. Please forgive me. I've had a heart change. No, they might stop what they're doing, but in their heart, they're angry, they're bitter, and a gap in the relationship grows between that child and that parent. Too many times, though, when kids are getting off track in their behavior, we tend to view that as parents as an interruption to life, when in reality, that is life. It's not an interruption when children are getting off track. It's an opportunity for us to address our child's heart. I know I say that right now here on YouTube, and it's hard to believe in the moment because you're busy as a parent doing a bunch of stuff. And all of a sudden, this kid is saying, no, I don't want to clean my room or whatever it is. And you're like, I didn't plan for you to say no. I'm in the middle of trying to get lunch on the table. You kidding me? No? Oh, right. Feels like an interruption. I get it. But we have to tell ourselves, no, no, no. Our kid's not sitting there thinking in the morning, oh, I can't wait to mess up her day. I'm going to interrupt. No, but this is an opportunity now. And we need to stop and say to ourselves, part of my job as a parent is to not just help kids learn how to obey, but to help them get back on track when their behavior says, I need to be back on track. My heart's going the wrong way. And I know that because of the behavior. So This is an opportunity. And for some of us, our kids are offering up lots of opportunities. Right? And we're like, BJ, I don't want this many opportunities. I get it. We need to focus on developing cooperation in family life. Cooperation is simply following through on what I'm told to do instantly, completely, and cheerfully. That's a definition you should go rewatch and write down because it's a definition you can use with your kids. We want our kids to hear what they need to get done, whether that's pick up their shoes or clean the bathroom or get their homework done or help their sister out in the garage, whatever it is. We want them to hear that instruction and say, okay, I'll go to get that done. And to go do it pretty quickly at that point, instantly, completely. We don't want the job halfway done. And cheerfully, we want them to be like, oh, sure, yeah, no problem. They don't need to skip out the door like they're in some Disney animated feature with a bunch of little bluebirds singing above them. No, but with a positive attitude, not rolling the eyes and all that other stuff that suggests there's attitude in the heart that we need to address. But to build cooperation in family life, yes, we're going to need to be firm, not harsh, firm. That's different than harsh. Well, we need to be firm, yeah. We need to cast a vision, though, for what cooperation looks like. We need to teach our kids specific skills. It's not good enough to say, make sure you're sharing with your brother. We need to show them what does sharing look like, sound like, feel like. What actions and words do you take and do in order to share? And we need to coach them along the way and give them positive reinforcement like, great job. I watched you just use your words when you wanted the swing. Keep on doing that. Or corrective words as well, because coaches do that too. But not harsh words, just correcting like, oh, that wasn't really working too well. You want to do it this way instead. And to transfer responsibility. All of these are great, but we have to do all of that in the context of a loving, nurturing, positive relationship with our child. That's how Jesus does it with us. Jesus does not come down, look at us as strangers and say, you, change now. Here are the rules. Here's what you need to do. This is what I expect. He doesn't do that. He says, come to me if you're weary, if you're heavy laden, if you're burdened. Come to me. Jesus knocks at the door of our hearts. Jesus welcomes us and builds relationship. That's where Jesus starts. And so that's where we need to start with our children. Relationship fundamentally is the foundational tool that we use to transform a heart in our children. And so if I was going to tell you any first step that you should take, having watched this video, to start changing this battle mentality climate in your family right now, it would be relationship. Focus on relationship. Focus on it by engaging in small activities, whether that's playing a card game with your child or going for a quick bike ride or walk or making dinner together or taking them along as you go to a store. Small moments that are one-on-one that give you a chance to have some positive interactions, and then celebrating those moments by, you get back home from the store and you say, boy, we make a great team when we go out shopping, don't we? And just using those words, we and team, and being positive, that celebrates and marks that moment. Or playing a game together, like a board game, and then saying at the end of it, like, wow, we had a lot of fun playing this game, didn't we? Thanks for joining me here. Again, we're using this celebratory language to plant mile markers in our children's heart and mind about what's going on here. We're building the relationship. That's the first step in starting to change this battlefield thing we got going on here. And if focusing in on these small relationship building activities and planting celebratory mile markers at the end of those sounds like something you can do, give this video a thumbs up. But if you'd also like to understand, how do I build cooperation after that? Okay, I'm working on a relationship, but how do I build cooperation? How do I get my kid to say, sure, dad, sure, mom, and go off and do things? Or what do I do when they do say no? When they do dig their heels in, so that I don't up the ante and this blow out of control and everything else? How do I change all of that? You want to click on the link in the description down below to a great parenting resource. I have a online parenting course you can take independently. It is a mini course, so it's real quick. But let me tell you, there is so much power packed into those 3 modules with practical parenting tools and step-by-step instructions to help you put these things in place. You take a few weeks working on the skills I'll teach you in that course, and you will see change in your family life to a much more positive momentum in family life. So go ahead, click that link down below, and I will see you right back here another time. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you real soon.